If you belong to a country which has a treaty relations signed with USA, which makes it a US treaty country, and you want to move to USA or you want to start or expand your existing business to USA, E2 visa is a wonderful solution for you, which gives you an opportunity where you can start or invest in a business in USA with the very least amount of money possible, depending on your business models. And based on that, you can obtain an E2 treaty investor visa. And with this visa, you can take your spouse and kids which is below 21 years of age. You can move to USA and you can live your American dream. Hi, my name is Rahil Sheikh. I'm a business consultant based in Virginia, USA. In my firm, Startup Business Bureau, we provide consulting and management services to foreign investors and entrepreneurs who want to start their businesses, who want to invest in the businesses in the USA with or without the purpose of E2 visa application. If you are an existing businessman or an aspiring entrepreneur who want to start the business in USA but always wondering like what kind of an options are there, how you can establish the business in USA, what kind of visa opportunities are there which you can avail, then this video is for you, because in this video I will explain in detail how does the E2 visa works and what are the requirements, criteria and benefits of E2 visa. So first you need to understand who is this visa for. So primarily there are certain countries across the globe which has signed treaty relations with USA, which is called US treaty countries. So if you belong to a treaty country, the list of the treaty countries would be below in the description of this video. So if you belong to the treaty countries, that means you meet the first qualification criteria of this visa category. So the first thing is you need to be from the treaty country, and the second thing is you need to establish the business in USA to qualify for this visa program. Now with regards to the business option, there are different choices are there. You can start a brand new company as a startup company or a brand new business. You can build your own business, or you can invest and acquire the majority shares of an existing business. You can buy or invest in franchise business, or if you have an existing business outside the US which you want to bring into US and you want to do the same business here, you can certainly do that. So with regards to the variety of businesses, there is endless opportunities as long as the business is active and it's operational for profit. You can definitely you are allowed to do that kind of businesses. Second most important thing which comes into this criteria is the investment budget. So practically there is no official threshold mentioned from the US regulations or USCIS, as there is no fixed amount of capital which is required, because the investment budget varies as per the business models. So whatever the nature of your business is or the business model is, how much budget is required to develop that business in as per that model is the amount of investment you require for this E2 visa qualification. Though there is no fixed amount mentioned, but as a practice, for any small scale business, $100 to $150,000 is the minimum amount of investment which we see as a practice that is sufficient to qualify for E2 visas. So the only official terminology which the USCIS has mentioned about the investment is the substantial amount of investment. So as I mentioned, the substantiality of the investment varies from business to business. So for example, if you are starting an online business or a service providing business or a digital business, then you might need a smaller scale of investments which is like $50, $60 or $70,000. While as compared to that, if you are planning for a retail business or a trading business or a big trucking company, and then you would end up spending much more amount than that. So investment amount would directly be related with your business model and the nature of business. The next thing which you need to consider is the marginality of your business, which means your business should not be a marginal business. Now, how do you define the marginality of the business? Is that the business is producing sufficient income only to meet the requirements of the investor. So that is called a marginality. So practically your business should not be marginal, and it should create an income much more or a much higher than the requirements of the investor, so that you can grow your business in USA and you can create multiple job opportunities in future in the US economy and US marketplace. So the business should have a sufficient potential where it can grow over the period of time and it can contribute to the US economy. So now let's talk about how does the whole process would work. So practically speaking, if you decide to go for an E2 visa application, so as I mentioned, the first thing you need to decide is the nature of business, like what kind of a business you want to do. You need to probably conduct an extensive market research to find out a business qualifying your investment criteria and your future objectives. The second thing is you need to determine and define your investment budget, so you know exactly what is your investment capacity, and then you can find out the business in that range. So once you decide these two things, then the next step would come then in the process to start executing the business project. Now here is another challenge, that the business investment has to happen prior to your E2 visa application, which means before you apply for a E2 visa or before you get your E2 visa and you land in the US market, you need to make your substantial amount of investment in a qualifying business. So that first you need to register your company, you need to register your EIN, tax records, registrations, and you need to open your bank account so that you can fund your business. And then based on your requirements, like if you are starting a business or if you are buying an existing business or you are buying a franchise, so you need to spend that money, and that money has to be at risk at the time of E2 visa application. So the money has to be at risk. This is the requirement from USCIS. So you need to make sure that you choose the business very carefully. It should be a qualifying business. It should be able to make a good profit and growth in the future in the US, so that you can put all of your investments into the business and then you apply for the visa application. Then the next part comes in. Once you acquire or build the infrastructure of a business, then you need to prepare a whole detailed business plan and financial feasibility and financial forecasting. So you have to develop the extensive research and analysis, and you have to build a whole business plan explaining all the ifs and buts of your business, how you're gonna work it out, what are the strategies you are going to apply, how you're gonna contribute to towards the business development and the business growth, and what are the financial forecasting of your business for up to 5 years. So at the time when you are ready to submit your E2 visa application, your business should be ready to operate or already operating. So it cannot happen that the money just sits into the bank account and by sitting the money you just apply for the E2 application. That doesn't work. So you need to invest the money, you need to take the risk, and the business should be ready to operate or already operating if in case you are already buying an existing business. And lastly, in the whole of this E2 process, keep in mind that the source of income or a source of investment is one of the very critical and crucial element of the E2 visa success, which means you need to have a legitimate source of income, you need to declare your funds officially, you need to have your complete money trail, the chain of trails from where the money was originally generated and how did the money landed and invested into the US business. So make sure that you have a legitimate and traceable source of incomes, though you can also add a gift money or a personal borrowed money. You can use that as an E2 investment as well. So if you have considered applying for an E2 visa, you feel any obstacle or challenges in finding a qualifying business or materializing the business acquisition or buying a business deal and transaction, you need any help in establishing a business, or if you have any concerns or questions with regards to the E2 visa application process, so feel free to reach out to me. Me and my team would be happy to address all of your concerns. Thank you so much.